Thank you for coming. I think I now know the answer to this question, but I wanted to start off by asking you what your shortcuts to joy are. And I think I may have just seen it.
Well, the shortcuts to joy that you mentioned are all these songs, all the songs that I write, different ways, watering my plants, walking up a mountain. But these songs came from making joy out of a place that it wasn't, And I knew that it could work. And so that's why our mission is to sing to heal ourselves and others. Yeah. And we've witnessed the healing power of this music through our group, through our family. We didn't start out as professional singers, as that bio I need to rewrite.
Because you're quite professional.
Because we're quite professional at this point, and so proud of the hard work and commitment and dedication. They'll tell you that we rehearse every week. It's 52 weeks in a year, and we probably rehearse 48 weeks out of the year. And it's not because I'm a dictator. It's because I know that that's how you build real rapport. That's how you build real community. And that's how you really care about each other. And that's the only way that this music will be infectious, is if we actually embody those principles.
All right, well, okay, so let's back up for one moment.
Yes, back it up.
Why the choir? Where did the choir start? How did the choir come together? Because you didn't all know each other before, though I'm sure many of you have worked together in the past.
Well, the choir, it really started out as a very whimsical idea in my mind that I mentioned to a few people, Novi being one of them. I'm like, if I started a choir, would you sing with me? Just kind of checking the temperature, And a lot of people say, yeah, but these are the people who definitely showed up, because I put it on Instagram. And then as we started to do work, people reached out to join. But I feel like the right hearts needed to be involved, and these are the right hearts, and we are in alignment. And it's a powerful force because, why a choir? I wanted to take the ego out of making music, because as a solo artist, it's like, oh, you should have made it by now. You should have did this by now. And it's like God gave me a voice, and if the world is bullying me into wanting to not share it, I know that is, for me, disobedient to my gift. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just sing with people. I'm going to sing with people and not care where it goes. And now we're here with you.
Well, so talk a little bit about faith. We talked on the phone the other day, and we talked a lot about faith.
Yes, faith. To speak on faith, I think that faith is, we say it in the song, it's an invisible thing, but it is so, once you build your mind, your thoughts, you can pray over yourself when you believe in your word. So faith has a lot to do with working on that internal and what you really believe. But it takes a lot of work to get to that faith. And so I think in this world full of death, chaos, and war, division, we have to remember to keep our faith and remember the parts of faith that are not divisive, which are love, which are tolerance, which is the respect for one another, to know that if you do believe in something that your soul depends on, I can't negate your experience, but it doesn't invalidate my own, And I think in that attack on our own, it's our own insecurity with our faith, Get more in touch with your faith so that it doesn't require death and destruction to say that it's right. Because if it's right, it's just right.
And we also were talking about any kind of faith.
Everybody builds their faith themselves. Yeah, and so that's why we have to respect that journey. And a lot of people aren't focused on building faith, and that's why I made this music as shortcuts to joy for people, so that as they're feeling in despair, maybe they use their mind, because our imagination is where that faith comes from, right? And so if we don't strengthen our imagination, most people are letting the computer think for them, right? But when we think for ourselves and when we really feel our own emotions, all kinds of creative things can come out. And it doesn't have to be music. It could be the dinner you cook. So it's about making life sacred. They say secular and sacred music, but life is sacred. All the elements, because it took some of those little kinky things for us to get here. You got to frolic to get here. So, you know what I'm saying? So
I like that.
So just making it all okay.
Does this, and I'm sort of throwing this out to the group, but I know that you all practice, rehearse once a week together and all that, but I've got to think that if I were part of this group, and I can't sing, I would be dying to be there every week, because I just see how the joy on your faces and the joy in your voices is overwhelming.
Sometimes we get there and none of us want to be there. And by the
Really? And by the end.
all of us are tired. I'm like, oh, y'all late again. Nobody told me. Fine. You know, our little dynamics. And then by the second song, we're all
y'all
like,
are all feeling.
oh, thank
you're
God we
feeling good,
came.
right?
This week was long. Oh my goodness. You know, by the end, we've all testified in some way of how it's like, woo, we need this.
Right.
You know?
I just it's the embodiment or the embracing of community.
And imagination and creativity.
Yes.
Because these are all adults with whole lives, you know, families, jobs, careers, you know what I'm saying? And this is still something that they believe in. And I tell them all the time that it's hard to like choose to invest in imagination, to choose to invest in your creativity. As you get older, it starts to feel irresponsible. But it's the most responsible thing you can do. It's responding. You know, and I'm so happy that they answered the call because I didn't want to do this by myself. I couldn't have. You know, I wanted the right hearts, though, and I feel like I have them, and like we're a family, and it doesn't feel forced or like a faux, you know, a wave set that's not real. Right. It's real. It's real. We took the time to build it, and so shout out to Jack Maeby, my partner on this.
I was about to say the same thing. Jack, incredible organist, incredible musician.
The one and only Jack Maeby.
The one and only. And it's, you know, we're talking about you all getting together for choir practice, but also the musicians who are here today are some of the best in town, and all of you being together, it's really special.
And that they believed in it. You know, shout out to Allakoi Peete. He has a whole production company of his own, prolific percussionist of his own. And, you know, I told him, I was like, I think I want to start a choir. He's like, well, what's up? You know, and we've been down like 4 flat tires ever since. And so that's the thing is, it's not really any, it's a couple of new members, but these are the original people. These are the same people from 5, almost 6 years ago. And so.
Well, I discovered you through the music. We all discovered you through the music, but then watching some videos on Instagram and Novena, listening to you talk about it, and now watching you perform today and listening to you all perform, I hope those of you who are listening to the broadcast are getting as much out of this as we are in the studio, and we just can't wait to, we've got another set to go.
Yes.
We have Jimetta Rose and the Voices of Creation. At the end of this, we have a giveaway for fans of yours, so we'll do that in the show, but I want you all to get back into it, because this is too much fun. Thank you.
Thank
Jimetta
you
Rose
so
and the
much.
Voices of Creation. Morning Becomes Eclectic on KCRW.